let's begin. Should you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am internet person House of Decline. I draw comics. I make podcasts. Those, it's I'm on social media. I post. It's terrible, but it gets me attention, so that's fun.
Uh, okay. So when did you first became aware of Homestuck?
I think I first became aware of Homestuck through when I'm sure a lot of people that didn't come to it initially became aware of it through Undertale because Toby Fox was directly influenced by Homestuck, and because Undertale was huge and because it just was more immediately attractive to me because I could see like let's plays of it and so whereas Homestuck, because it sort of had that arcane interactive, you had to go into the website and click through every comic, and it starts to like only getting good, once you have like the larger scope of it. Like there's a lot of time investment with those like Undertale videos. You could see, like immediately see like the results of it. So I don't know. So through Undertale, I became aware of Homestuck. That is a long-winded way of saying that.
Um, and what was your first impression for upon kind of uh, like seeing it or becoming aware of it?
My first impression of Homestuck. I should also preface this by saying I know nothing. I still haven't explored the comic. I know nothing about it other than the fact that it has this gigantic legion of fans that have, very deep-rooted emotional relationships to it. As far as I'm aware, from what I've cobbled together, um, it's like it's my impression of it. It's basically an isekai, right, where kids get trapped in an alternate world, and then they gotta explore it. But then some weird stuff happens with some trolls, and the trolls get very important in the narrative, and they all have like they're all zodiac signs, and they each have like little individual personalities, which is why people liked them a lot because they felt they could like you could be whichever troll. If there was a troll, there was a troll for you. You could you were the Cancer troll or the Aquarius troll or whatever. I think I've seen those images reproduced enough that it's they're those tiny little characters. And from I think also my impression of it is that what's really popular of it is or what makes it popular is the simplicity of the characters. I think that's part of like the driving force of why people have such intimate relationships with it. I know from my own comics, at first I was doing like really detailed stuff, but I found as I made the characters simpler, they became more universally relatable. So I think that is part of the magic of whatever this Homestuck thing is the fact that it feels like you could have done it yourself. And the characters are so simple that they lend themselves to the thing where it's like people can draw much more elaborate, romantic, baroque, or anime like fan art of them, which I think is like, it appears to be a big part of the fandom. I think, that's part of it. It's like people placing these really and all I know, the other thing that I know about him is it's very relationship heavy. Like these trolls, they have like there are these rules surrounding relationships. About and it's like rarely it's not sexual really. It's like all this sort of like romance stuff, like people almost getting somewhere but being impeded or obstructed in some way, which is, the key to romance. And then there's some sort of I wrote a comic once that is someone is calming down someone else by scratching their head and patting, scratching their chest and going, as you would calm down a spooked horse. But apparently that's a thing in Homestuck. That's called a shoosh papping, which people alerted me to,
Yeah.
and that's part of this whole like arcane baroque relationship arrangement that these trolls that apparently that's some sort of important part of it. And so I think that's what's really interesting to me as an outside observer of Homestuck. It seems to focus on romantic relationships, but in this very like systemic rules-based way, which is interesting for me as, someone that talks to a lot of neurodivergent people and has been undiagnosed, but who thinks, like I imagine the fan base of Homestuck has a big neurodivergent crossover. And I think part of that is, the difficulty of navigating human relationships, it's sort of nice to have this sort of like systemic list of things of like ways that you can love people sort of mapped out, which is I think part of. And I've never read this. This is just all from the impressions that I've totally gleaned off of, just ambient internet noise, just so is any of this correct?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, it's. I wouldn't really describe it as an isekai. I more will describe it like Jumanji, which is kind of like you play a game and then the game becomes real life. But yeah, tell me more about like the art like itself. You've seen like different you've seen like panels from the comic itself, like through.
Yeah. Have any panel, or can you find some panels and put some in chat? Because I don't really know any. I only know fan art basically, because I never investigated MS Paint Adventures or any of the other stuff. But it's a blind spot in my webcomics history, which I would like to fix because it's like I love the weird world of webcomics, and this is absolutely one of the big ones.
Okay.
So.
Hold on.
But yeah, in terms of the art as I know, it's like these it's usually a circular head on top of a conical body, and that's the basic character. And sort of different character type. You put glasses on it, you put spiky hair on it. That's the main nerd guy character. But yeah, all of the characters have the same body type. But I think that's sort of the point of it too, is that it's sort of like made for character generators as well. It's the same reason why like South Park character generators were so popular back in the day, because you have this really simplistic thing that you can map out, accessories onto. Like you can make your own little troll character, but you can add your features to that character in sort of you start out with the basic template. And then you put on something that is personal to you. Or you make like troll characters that are like, this one has a cigarette. Whoa, yeah, this is cigarette troll. Whoa, or this one has a scar. That's what I would do on those South Park character creators. Inevitably, they would have like, oh yeah, these are some. I think that what's also strikes me about these panels is that they're very colorful. They're deeply saturated in color, or they have that. I mean, it was called MS Paint Adventures, but yeah, definitely not a muted color palette I'm getting from these. Yeah, these troll characters are they got cuteness, they got appeal. I understand why people like them or identify with them. I like that Pisces troll. He seems like a real asshole. He's tired. He's tired. He's got them tired eyes and a devilish grin. He doesn't.
He's kind of racist also.
Oh no, that's no good. That's no good. You don't want that. Like fantasy racism or like real racism.
Fantasy racism.
Okay, that's a little better. I'm glad he's not like talking smack about Asian people or anything like that. That would be no good. That would be no good.
So like.
But yeah.
Homestuck fans kind of have a bit of an infamy to being like part of like the cringe fandoms or whatever. Have you ever have you ever seen of experience kind of like that? No, say maybe like a Homestuck fan being weird or cringe. Have you ever seen something like that?
I mean, depends on what you mean by weird or cringe. Like in terms of like, it's weird or cringe by how like like a sort of dude bro or someone like that would judge weird or cringe. But I've always run into circles of like autistic people or like misfit people or queer people because they just don't have a lot in their lives. What they latch onto is this sort of media property which articulates something deeply to them, which is missing. And a lot of the Homestuck fan base, especially coming from Undertale as well, is like it's a deeply nakedly emotional property. You know, also in the same way that people latch on to the same type of people latch on to My Little Pony or something like that, which is something that I never got into as well. But it's that, I don't know. I feel like there are very few venues that allow you to be that, you know, just all openly emotional, like off the cuff, like totally, like, you know, totally fucking for. I feel like that's what gay as the insult is, the pejorative gay. You know, it's all about, oh, you're openly, you know, nakedly just putting yourself out there. You know, you're just, you know, wearing your heart on your goddamn sleeve. You're obsessed with this, you know, girly romance stuff or whatever. Or you're obsessed with this sort of like simplistic, colorful Lisa Frank, you know, almost femme view. Like there is that quality to Homestuck of that sort of like, I don't know, it's all about romance, and there's all of it like trying to this innocence that people are sort of losing but still trying to hold on to, you know, the end of childhood, you know, the beginning of your sort of stumbling block into this adulthood that you don't really understand and is alien and foreign to you. You know, that's like so I think, you know, that's part of the cringe too, is like when you are vulnerable, when you're, it's the same thing. Okay, the fandom but I was never part of the fandom. I just liked the show. But Steven Universe I loved, and that was one of the key cringe fandom. People were telling each other to kill themselves over various disagreements in the Steven Universe fandom. But I love that show very much, and it's had the same thing where it got its hooks into people because it was just so openly emotional. And Rebecca Sugar was just excellent. She was making like great cry comics before she made Steven Universe. But these things that have such this immense vulnerability to them, which is why people not only get into them but develop very intense emotional relationships with them. There's these characters cry, they have real lives, they're tender, you know, which is what I think people really like about them, the tenderness of the thing. Even though they're distinctive, there is still this emphasis on like how do we love each other, you know, and how do we like try and be the best versions of ourselves. And it's expressed through these sort of like simplistic, childlike, almost like neotenous characters, which, you know, I'm sure like a lot of people discover this when you're a teenager, which is when you're supposed to sort of like discover this, and you grow up with the characters as they age within the comic as well. And but yeah, so it's all those themes together, and I think people get mad at that sort of thing because if you expose weakness, you know, if you say that you are nakedly emotional or like soft in any way, they'll jump on you, they'll kill you, you know. But yeah, and of course people get like really intense about this stuff, but people get really intense about any fandom. Have you been to like a Philadelphia at an Eagles game? It's like, why are people like, oh, Homestuck is cringe? Have you been at a hockey riot? It's like, what are you talking about? Cringe? You know, everyone has their cringe, right? So it's just like, your cringe is soft, their cringe is, you know, trash in Vancouver or whatever after the Canucks lose. So it's like everyone is cringe. Don't worry about it. You know. I mean, I'm sure they're like, Homestuck is so fucking popular. I'm sure there's a billion non, you know, wacky fans or whatever. But you know, you focus on the wacky ones because you know that's money, that's entertainment. You know, that's YouTube dollars, right? You know.
Have you heard of the Sharpie Bat story?
What is the Sharpie butt? Tell me the Sharpie butt. I don't know.
Okay, this
Is
it's
someone put a Sharpie up their butt or draw something? Tell me
no
the
a
story.
Sharpie bath,
Okay.
like
No.
BATH. Um, it's a very likely, like very positively, a fake story that kind of like spread around because of, you know, how absurd it is. Basically there was like back in like 2013, around that time, there was a convention happening, and there were like this group of like friends. I th- um I think one of them was like a friend of a friend, and that friend of a friend was like a Homestuck fan, and she cosplayed as one of the trolls. Then while they were in the like hotel room, the Homestuck girl like went to the bathroom to get like her cosplay done. Uh, then about like I think it was like an hour passed, and she still hadn't come out of the bathroom. And then one of them kind of went in the bathroom to inspect what the fuck was going on, and they discovered this girl like in a bath full with like I think it was like 70% alcohol and gray sharpies to like tint
Oh
her
no,
skin gray.
she was trying to dye her skin gray like the trolls.
Yeah,
Did that work?
I don't know. Again, this is like very
That
likely a
sounds
fake
really
story.
bad. That sounds like a really bad idea. Like you
Yeah,
would get alcohol poisoning just from it seeping into your pores. You know, that doesn't seem like a. Is she okay?
yeah.
Does she live?
There's again. This was told first through like a post in 4chan, and I think there was one person in like Tumblr that like told the same story, but again, this one person kind of like that's kind of known in the Homestuck community, Funk McLovin, kind of did like an investigation to prove the validity of the story, and the conclusion is it's probably fake. It probably
Yeah,
nothing like that
yeah.
happened.
That seems. I mean, I'm sure people have done sort of extreme stuff to embody, their favorite characters or whatever. Because yeah, this stuff gets deep. And like I said before, these like people really, really identify for whatever else. I don't even know the name of the author of this thing, but they were. I think the strength of the comic is that they're able to write like really believable characters, even though it's like these ridiculous drawings of I shouldn't say ridiculous, but simplistic, sort of intentionally goofy drawings of these trolls. Despite that, they have this very like realistic dialogue and these very sort of relatable teen problems. So it's like that was like part of the draw too, is that it's these sort of wacky, surreal, unrealistic characters, but they're having this um, very real conversation, and that I think that incongruousness, is what leads people to like it. I think that same thing is in Undertale too, where you have this these very really wacky characters, but then it takes their emotional problems deathly seriously. So that's like these something about the juxtaposition about these really simple characters with the um, imbuing them with like real life by treating them as serious real people. I think that's what also sort of gets its hooks into people, because I think a lot of us feel like that when we're young. Hell, when we're queer, if I'm trans, if you're still in cis hell, you sort of feel like a simplistic person or like a simplified version of a human, like you're not quite there yet, you know. And I think that's sort of what these simplified versions of characters can do. It's simply in my art, I was very inspired by Keith Haring and this drive to create a simpler form of character, because it allowed me to that was the idea of myself, this sort of simplified abstract version. And as I got older and I got closer to my identity, that sort of faded away, and I had a more detailed vision of myself, which is what I think happens to a lot of people. I mean, that's sort of what I think the story is about, because it ends sort of apocalyptically as well. Because I think broadly the story is about childhood's end, right, and becoming an adult.
Yeah,
And
you're,
so,
you're
yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah,
yeah.
on that.
So yeah,
Um,
childhood has to end, and it ends apocalyptically, And but that's great, because then afterwards you get to do your detailed drawings. You get to draw people in greater detail. You get to take these simplistic troll characters and breathe your own set of life and meaning into them by giving them greater and more specific form, which is what I think, why people still carry this stuff on even past their teenage years and have these strong relationships with these characters.
um, so, uh, so what about what do you think of Homestuck as like a webcomic? Are you aware of like the way it differs from like from regular web comics in like format?
I know there was a lot of fan interaction. There was a lot of fan polls, and that would decide where a lot of the comic was going. And I know there was like a lot of interactive stuff and like game stuff and like flicking around. It had that element to it as well. But are there any other unique aspects to it?
Well, there were probably, I guess, like the most memorable parts of Homestuck were the flash animations that will
Right. Yeah.
play. There's were also, you know, there was like a ton of music produced for the comic, a lot of
Yeah.
which
Toby
like,
Fox. Yeah.
yeah,
Megalovania was made for Homestuck, as far as I remember. Right.
no, it was he made it for like a ROM hack he made for Earthbound, and then later reused it for Homestuck, and then reused it again for Undertale.
Well, there you go. You make a banger, you gotta use it again. You gotta keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think of that? Of like this very kind of like, kind of like, using like things like outside of like, I guess, conventional comic making.
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, that's what webcomics are good for. You can't do that on a newspaper page. You can't do that on a print media. You can't do that in a book. So you're using what is unique to the medium. And I don't know if people, try and get weird and definitional about it. Like, what is comics? If you're doing animations, it's not really comics anymore. But it's still presented in that sort of panel format. It's still, I think it's still comic. It's whatever you want to call it. So I don't really care that much. But yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. And I also think if you're doing like a long piece like that, just practically for me, like I have other artistic things I practice, which it's easy to burn out on one thing, but it's great if you have another, because then you can focus on that and you can gain some, sort of creative energy from that, and then take it back to the other thing as you're doing it. So I think if you have a sort of multiple disciplines you practice, it's a great way of sort of keeping yourself in a creative loop, never getting too bored with one thing. Because if you're getting bored of like drawing the comics, maybe you can just focus on the animations and do voices, and that's a little more fulfilling for a while. And then you can take what you learned from the animations back to the comics. I mean, same with music, because I mean, I've always thought that music is pretty deeply interrelated, or at least the way that music is notated. The way that I love sheet music. I was, classically trained. By college degrees in music composition, actually, which is funny. And my final project was mixing comics with music, because what I understood about comics, or what I understood about panel format, was that you're always spending a specific amount of time looking at each panel. And that's sort of the way that bars in music are arranged as well, too. When you look at a bar in a sheet music, it sort of resembles a panel of a comic, right? And within that, the action is taking place. And you sort of like, and bars can be longer depending on the time signature, which means, that's like a splash page or something like that, or it can shift, so thinking of sheet music as comics as well, and then thinking of sheet music and then hearing music and then notating it in my head and applying it to comics. Yeah, it's all interrelated. There's all some sort of mathematical or time differential aspect. That I think that's the closest thing between comics and music, is that they're mediums of time manipulation, right? Or commenting on the essence of time. They take place over certain periods of time, or whereas comics manipulate time through a series of still images, and by making them larger or smaller or more colorful or more dense with text. So that changes your perception of how to read a panel. With music, it does it through pace and tempo and all that stuff. But so yeah, there I think love multidisciplinary stuff. It's great. Everyone should do it if they have the capacity to do so. I mean, it's also good if someone does one thing really, really, really good as well. But if you can do a lot of things really good, why not do it? And as far as I know, like, I mean, part of why it got its hooks into people is because people really felt like they had a stake in the comic too. Like, a lot of the music was fan submitted too, and then it would be like you had a chance of creatively evolving along with your favorite artist, which is, that's great. I love it when there's seems like there's a lot of positivity in the community as a result of that. So good on Homestuck.
Yeah. So earlier when I like showed you one of the art, you mentioned one of like your opinions on one of the trolls. I would like to get your opinion from the other trolls.
You
Just
want me to
from
get the opinions on all the other trolls?
yeah.
Try and demarcate them based on appearance alone. Okay, so the Pisces troll, he's obviously, you said he was racist. He seems like he's an internet denizen. He like drinks a lot of Red Bull and shit like that. Sort of the troll in the internet sense as well. Sort of says mean shit to get a rise out of people. There's this clown-looking troll. This what is that? Sagittarius? I don't know that. So I don't know the zodiacs.
Which
Very well.
one?
He has clown makeup on. He's got long horns.
That's Capricorn.
Capricorn. That's Capricorn. So he's crazy. This guy's crazy. He wears the fright whip makeup. He's got something. He's insane clown posse.
Yeah, literally. He's supposed to be a juggalo.
He's a juggalo. Okay, there you go. I got that one. So that's he's a literal juggalo. So trolls, despite being from a different planet, know about insane clown posse. See, that tickles me.
It's a whole thing. I won't bother explaining it, but
you don't have to bother explaining. I'm sure there's some elaborate, dense lore associated with why the trolls know about why Capricorn knows about insane clown posse. There's what is this, Libra, the red glasses one?
The red glasses? Yeah, that's Libra.
Okay, so that's Libra. Cool. This is a cool customer. A real cool customer right here, trying to always be cool and obsessed with being cool, but failing to live up to it in some ways, which is their character flaw as well. They're sort of a clout chaser. Or am I wrong about that? That's my first impression of the design of this
character. Not really. No.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. What's their deal? What's Libra's deal?
They're like they're blind first of all, and they have like.
Oh, there you go. So I thought the sunglasses were coolness, but it turns out they are disabled. So shame on me.
No, it's cool.
There you go.
I mean, one of the other trolls here is also disabled, but it's also, I don't think you wouldn't be able to figure it out just by looking at these sprites.
There you go. Yeah, none of these are. But yeah, this is so. Yeah, I'm way. I like how everyone has. They have different horn formulations as well. That's part of the cuteness of the unique character design. I really love the simplicity. The old ball and cone. They don't have arms either, even though they do have arms. Do their hands just float when they need to do stuff in the comics, or like how do they?
An arm just like appears.
It just appears. There you go. I like that. All right, so we got this. What's this one? The one with the red and blue glasses.
Yeah, that's Gemini.
It's Gemini.
Yeah.
So it's twin, and he's got two-tone shoes, dualities. But is the two-tone shoes mean that Gemini is into ska as well? Is Gemini a ska fan?
What?
Oh, ska music. Are you aware of ska music?
No, I don't.
SKA ska music. It's rapid.
He's a programmer, so I don't know. Is that music that the programmers listen to? Ska music?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, third wave ska for sure. Yeah. Streetlight Manifesto, Real Big Fish. It's music that's like it comes from reggae. It predates reggae actually. Desmond Decker and the Skylights in 1960s Jamaica. And it's really good. If you never heard first wave ska from Jamaica, all that stuff is like excellent and absolutely worth listening to. And then you had second wave ska, like the Specials in England, and that stuff's pretty good too. And then you had third wave ska, which is a little different. It's a little more upbeat. It's really rapid. Lyrics are pretty nerdy. And it's fine for people. Not my thing, but I think it's good for people. And yes, nerds do love that type of ska music. He could absolutely, if this guy's a programmer, I could hear him, do you like Less Than Jake? But we're going to the Less Than Jake concert, like ska. It it has horns in it. It's rapid. It's before your time. Before your time. Either way, there's a longhorn fella.
Yeah,
This
that's
longhorn fella.
Taurus design.
He seems like a
Taurus.
real himbo. He seems like a himbo. Is that accurate too? He's
No,
dumb.
he's the other disabled troll that I mentioned earlier. He's on a wheelchair.
Okay, I didn't pick on it. But what is his personality though? Is his personality just wheelchair? Darn,
No,
that's not a
no, he's a bit of a wimp, a bit of a loser kind of
bit of a loser.
but he kind of has like he has a like redemption arc where kind of he like proves himself that he can get stuff done or whatever.
Okay, there you
But
go.
yeah,
There
she,
you go. Then you have this lady one. She's
that's
a little
Virgo. Virgo.
Virgo. She's a little mean. She's a little How sweary can I get on this?
Uh,
How much can I swear on this? How
you
much?
can swear, do whatever.
Okay. Like what is this for? This is for some sort of Homestuck meetup or convention or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's an online convention. Yeah, this
Okay,
is
yeah, there you go, but yeah, so I can say cunty. She looks a little cunty.
yeah,
She's
you're
a
right.
little cunt right here, and I love her. She's, this is, I love Virgo. This is the one that I like the most. She's got like a Kira Nerys haircut. She's like a little pissed off, She's like the angry mom of the bunch, I imagine.
Mom definitely kind of yes. No, yeah, mom yes, but not really angry. Just kind of
Serious, self-serious.
kind of more like that, like autistic kind of like tone deafness, if you know what I mean.
Yes, blunt. She's blunt. She doesn't care about people's emotions that much,
Well,
or
no,
maybe she
she
does.
does. It's just the way she talks. It's kind of like can be like a bit of or come across as a bit like kind of like I don't know what to describe, but it's autism.
There you go. She's got the autism. Perhaps this is why I like her little skirt. I like her skirt. I like the design of it. I bet people have fun with that in the fan art.
Yeah, she has a lot of cool outfits throughout the comic that show up occasionally. Very colorful too.
We got Aries. I think this
Yeah,
one
that's
is. She's
Aries.
cool. She's cool. She's the the hot one. You know, she's like everyone wants to. She's the popular one or
No,
whatever.
no,
Not
you
at
are
all. Not at all.
so off.
So
It's
off.
not even funny.
Completely off.
She's dead canonically.
She's the loser. She's dead canonically.
And then she resurrects. She's like half dead. Then her soul gets put into a robot. Then it kind of becomes few. And then she resurrects. She's weird. That's what you. She's weird.
This comic, yeah, she is, yeah. This comic is very elaborate. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, this character, this Uwu character, is pretty easy to figure out. She's like she's cutesy and nerdy and like innocent. What's this one? That's the
Leo.
circle and the
Leo.
Leo.
Dead
Yeah,
because she's a
she's
cat.
character. She's a cat. Yeah. So I imagine that pretty much informs her character is the cat-like quality of her. That's
Yeah.
not hard to figure out. Yeah. They even gave her the uwu mouth. So good for her. Freaking, you got Scorpio. She's a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. No, or
Yeah,
I don't
she
know.
is.
She's
She is
also
a bitch. She
yeah.
is a bitch.
There you go.
He's a
Love
huge
Scorpio.
bitch spelled with a 8 instead of a B.
Hell yeah, biatch. I like her. I like Scorpio. Who we got here? This is Sagittarius. This is
Yes.
he's tough. Yeah, he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, these ones are a little more obvious. Got 3 in a row so far. Feel humming. Who's this? This is Aquarius.
Uh, yeah, I think it's Aquarius. Yeah.
This is Aquarius, and he is a nerd, or not. He's a disagreeable nerd. He is
He
like,
he
meh,
he's kind of
meh.
those kind of plays a ton of Hoi 4 and military games and this, such is very uh military. He likes the the military. He's uh I think I said this earlier. He's the racist one.
I thought the racist one was. Oh, so this is. Wait, what's the tired looking one?
Oh, oh, fuck! I got confused. I think, yeah, I thought you were talking about the. I didn't realize you were talking about the. This is cancer.
Oh, Cancer.
The
Oh,
one
I
on
like
the
Cancer. That's
at the
my
top
that's
left.
my sign. Yeah, I love Cancer. He's cool. That's me. I like him.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm tired.
he's
I'm
angry.
tired of him.
That's his thing. He's angry. He tries to like get everyone to do things, but it's usually very stressful and hard. So he's angry all the time,
Oh yeah,
basically.
I was angry all the time when I was a boy. Now I'm less angry. And then you got this one last one. This Pisces lady.
Yeah,
She's
this
fish.
one spices.
She is a fish. She seems nice. She seems like she's a nice fish lady.
Yeah,
A mermaid, if you will.
yeah,
She's the one. Yeah, no, these characters, a lot of them are dicks. It seems there's like a few dicks in this crowd, which
yeah,
I like. I guess that's why, because they're flawed, but they get moments of redemption. I'm sure is a
yeah.
big thing in the comic.
Some of them are kind of die off before they can really get explored, but
Oh,
some
they
of them
kill people in this. I forgot that. I think that's why people like it. They actually, there are stakes in this comic because people
yeah,
die in it. Right? Yeah.
that happens. People die, but also they can get resurrected. Also, there's like the like pseudo afterlife where you can like still talk to them,
Yeah.
or we.
Yeah, but it's like there's still consequences for it. Like death, it's still hard to come back. It's like
Yeah.
it's not like there's a whole process you gotta go through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the troll. I know the trolls now.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the troll. Now when I see someone with a Homestuck PFP, I will know what personality they consider themselves. Stay away from the people with the cancer PFPs. They're whoa. They got issues. No, I'm kidding. Wait, is there a thing in the Homestuck community is like stay away from the Aquarius PFP?
No.
So if a person like identifies as
Sort
that,
of.
like whoa.
Yes. Yes. Sort of. It kind of depends on the like. Specifically, it's about there's like another Aquarius, another
Yeah.
troll that has Aquarius. Those
Mhm.
usually those kind of like have. I mean, this is kind of like innocuous on like case to base, but sometimes they have like, I guess what you could say, they have like a proportion to be more weirder than
The
others.
Aquariuses, stay away from the Aquarius.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No.
See,
I'm
now
too. I'm
we're the
being.
ones. See, he's the racist one, but we're being racist against Aquarius. I mean, that's the problem with like astrology, right? We just figured out a way to do race science again. But your birthday, and you have this head shape. You have this skull, but
Yeah. Like. Um. mm, Okay.
No, but here's the thing. That's an important part. I think that's also why people glom onto it, is because you ever done a personality test online, or like those Myers-Briggs tests? You ever done one of those?
Yeah. A few times.
INFP, INTJ. Yeah, you do them because they're fun, and it's like it's sort of hard to figure out what you are. It's like identity is weird. It's like you try on a lot of hats, and not all of them work. And so that's why I think those tests are important, or why it's sort of pleasurable to take them, because it's like you take the test, and then the test says you're one thing, and you can either confirm it and be like, oh, I am like that, or deny it, which is like, no, I shall defy your categorization of me out of spite. And that's what and so it's sort of like, it's like flipping a coin, like when you flip a coin, but you already know what you really want, and so flipping coin, seeing the decision, and if it lands on the thing you don't actually want, you get disappointed. You can actually use the sort of like mapping yourself onto a character, or then maybe rejecting that character later in order to help you with your own identity. And I think because there are these very 12 distinct character types. I think, especially when you're young and you're doing that sort of exploration, I think that's why a lot of people like it, because you get to, really map out the person you are and who you're going to be. Then later you discard that as you become less like that character as you get older and change, or maybe you stay like that character, identify with it all your life. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Pause.
Yeah.
There's something I need to tell you, okay?
Okay.
Listen. This
Okay.
this is I kind of like to you. This isn't just an interview.
Okay. What is this? What are you doing right here?
Can you see my screen?
You're using your screen. Okay. What is this? Oh no, you're making a house. You're making a troll out of me.
Yes.
You're gonna
Yes,
make a troll
right
out
now.
of me.
Right
Oh my
now.
God. Is this
Live
being
on
recorded?
the air, on record.
On record, you're making a goddamn troll. Well, I'm glad I'm showing my face for reference then.
Yeah,
I haven't shaved. I don't care. People know what I look like.
okay, so
I'm not dolled up, but it doesn't matter.
design.
Because I'm casual. I'm real.
Okay, so you mentioned you were a cancer, right?
Cancer. I am a cancer. Yes.
Okay, so that means okay, so you have two blood colors to choose from.
Okay.
You have hold on, let me put it here. You have
Wow.
you have kind of like this lime green.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you can have this very what it refers to as a candy red. This
okay, lime green or candy? These are great options. I'll take the green. Give me the green.
Okay. If we had time, I will make you do the extended Zodiac quest to get your sign, but since we don't really have time, we're just gonna make one up. So okay, if you were to, you need to make like a symbol, kind of like that follows the same aesthetic as like the Zodiac signs. What will yours be?
Well, I suppose it would be I could do a simplified version of my PFP. So draw an upside down U, and then right on the right side of the top of the head, draw a line.
Like
yeah,
this?
Right there, draw a line. Yeah, and then you can. Actually, that's it. That's good, because that's like the blood. You don't even need to draw the face. But, my PFP outline is the little blood pouring out of the side of my forehead. So, that's good. That's simple. Gets it across. I like it. There you go.
Okay.
That's all you need.
Now let's go to designing this person. So, let's start with the haze. What expression do you think will represent you?
I really liked. I'm very tired looking, so I like the cancer troll's very tired eyes.
So let's know the hair. What should I like? Should I just like draw what you're like? What?
Yeah, you see what my hair looks like? It looks like it looks sort of like a French woman.
Yeah, like kind of like the way you've drawn yourself in your comics.
Yeah, I
Okay, now the horns.
The horns. Okay, so the horns are sort of important. can I only have? I would like one horn that is large and one horn that is one not large, but it also points down at the end, sort of like the upside down U. So on the right side, it would be a horn that curves up and then downwards, and then
like,
the other side, I would want one. Yeah.
Something like something like this.
Yeah. Perfect.
Or
that one, the one you previously drew. That would be good.
Okay. Okay. Now.
That's good. The costume. What is the costume?
Yeah, your clothes. Your clothes.
All I need is just give me like a black tank top and cut off jeans. You know, like Daisy Dukes. You know, that's what I'm usually wearing right now.
Now your shoes.
Oh, just give me regular sneakers. I wear gray sneakers in real life, so that is the pair of sneakers that I have. And there you go. There she is.
Now we need a name. So here's the thing with I probably should have told you the names of the trolls when we were going over them. So here's the rule with troll names. So there's a first name and a last name. Both of them have to be exactly 6 letters long.
Okay. Okay. Call me Scarjo Mencken. SKARJO. SKARJO.
RJO.
And last name Menken. MENKEN. Like Alan Menken, the musician.
Can you repeat that? The last name?
Menken. MENKEN.
KEN. Menken.
Scarjo Menken.
Okay.
Oh, dang all howdy, it's your old troll friend Scarjo Menken. Wearing your Daisy Dukes. In her tank top. Goddamn tank top. Oh, nice outlines.
Okay, now I pronounce is kind of obvious, I suppose, unless you
give him a she, her. You know, give her she, her pronouns. Why not? You know, I'm not trying to be something I'm not, or maybe I am.
Maybe I should just go ahead and do the girl voice, which I've been practicing, but you know, not that confident with it yet. A little confident with it because it's kind of good, but you know, we'll get better at it too. But yeah, it's just easier to, you know, when you've been doing it for 20 odd years, easier to talk in the boy voice. This is very new.
Okay.
But it'll be good. We'll get it. We'll get it real good.
Yeah, shake head.
Yeah. So the thing with trolls is that they have a kind of unique way of typing, or I guess the way like the text they read that the text, that their dialogue, it has like some sort of quirk, like for example, that the Cancer War Karkat, he speaks in all caps.
Okay.
And the Scorpio one, every time there's a B, it's replaced with a zero, and everything there's like a word that or part of a word that phonetically sounds like eight, like bait. The
Right. Yeah.
the part that sounds like eight, it's replaced with an eight. You can do basically whatever you want. It's
Okay. After every word, there should be a question mark.
okay.
That will be my. So every word should be pronounced. Yeah. So after every word, there you go. That will be my typing quirk. Which is apparent. Is that a big thing with trolls? That's
Yeah,
like a
that,
big thing that people
yeah,
latch
that's
onto is the typing quirks.
yeah, it's like an integral part, I
It's
guess,
an
to
integral part. Hell yeah.
of like trolls, like kind of like it's kind of how do I say it? Kind of like um yeah, it's like a cultural thing. Like every troll has like a their
It's a
own.
cultural thing. This comic rules. It's so fucking elaborate. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so. I guess that's why people love it, because there's just so much freaking lore. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's great. I like it too. It's kind of like there's like a bit of like I mean like kind of like a joke within a Homestuck fandom that like if you describe like a certain aspect of like the plot, it makes completely it ideally like what you're saying specifically doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But if you were to read the comic itself, no, it does like make sense. Like for example, what I mentioned earlier. Oh, there's oh yeah, there's this character that's like kind of like half person, half like crow, because he's from like a different timeline and then he hopped to like uh, the main timeline that wasn't like doomed, and then he kind of fused with this thing and he became kind of like half crow. Like
Yeah, it's
if
all
you read the
that. It's
comic,
all
that
stuff
makes
like that.
sense.
Yeah. No, I bet. Well, because the comic that I read that's like that is One Piece, where it's just just by virtue of it going on for 30 years, there's an infinite amount of lore where you're explaining everything, especially like Luffy's story, which is especially elaborate since he's the protagonist. It's but yeah. It's is Homestuck structured in arcs? Are there like big bads that they have to defeat in arcs, or is it just more sort of slice of life and meandering?
Oh yes, it's oh god, how do I yeah, it is kind of like arcs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like I mean, it's separated into acts. And as the comic goes on, it can kind of like it gets more ridiculous, kind of like the naming of these acts. Like first is Act 1, Act 2, intermission. No, it's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, intermission, Act 4.
Yeah.
Then you get to Act 5, which is divided into two. There's Act 5, Act 1, which is where kind of like the trolls kind of get like properly introduced and fleshed out. In this like kind of like we kind of like go back in time for like a few like 200-ish pages, I think.
Yeah.
And then we come back to the main story. That's Act 2. That's Act 5, Act 2. Then there's hold on, I forgot. It's something like then there's then the kind of like the structure kind of like changes to like back and forth to like different I guess like perspective between like I guess like the groups of protagonists.
Yeah.
There's there's so first there's Act 6, Act 1, Act 6, Intermission 1, Act 6, Act 2, Act 6, Intermission 2, Act 6, Act 3, Act 6, Intermission
But
3.
this is like when people really start getting into it, because this is when Homestuck becomes Homestuck, is right around Act 5, right?
Yeah,
That's when people say that's when it starts humming
yeah,
on all
it's
cylinders.
same one. So like like listen, like Homestuck is huge. As in, it's like it's 8,000 pages long. It's longer in word count than the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is why, so like I don't.
Better lessons in it too.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bible's pretty fun. It's got some fun stuff in it.
So like,
Revelations.
I mean, like I personally I don't really judge Homestuck as a like it's as like a whole thing, because I think it's like too big for you
Yeah.
to be able to like do that. I mostly just concentrate on like evaluating like individual acts or like
Yeah.
portions, I guess, for like, because there's like a very like different, like I guess, like tonal difference between like Act 6 to like Act 3-ish, Act 4 and Act 5, and the like the second half of Homestuck. Each of them kind of have like their own tone. Like it's similar, and
It's
obviously
sort of,
it's
it
still
goes
the
from
same.
dramatic to jokey a lot, right?
Yeah,
And that's what people
yeah.
like about it too,
So
is that it sort of switches between acts. You know, there'll be like a gaggy one, and then there'll be like a fucked up one, and you know that's the.
oh my god, I just remember something about this troll. There's uh uh but you know, I should, let's add it. One more thing. Just one more thing, as
One more
Colombo
thing.
will
We
say.
got to add to this drill. One more thing.
There's what's referred to as a lossus, kind of like picks them and then takes care of them. So as like their guardian,
Okay.
caretaker. So we need no lossus are basically just kind of animals, you know, just
Okay.
like, you know, animals from like Earth, like birds or dogs or whatever, but they're
Sure.
like
Yeah.
completely white all over, and
Okay.
sometimes they are like really big.
Okay.
So like, okay, if you had to choose like an animal, like a huge white animal to be your caretaker, what will it be?
I'd like a coyote. I like coyotes.
Okay,
They're
yeah,
scrappy and clever.
yeah, okay. So we're done. We're done. This is
Hell yeah.
so
I am a troll. I have become a troll. Everywhere I am part of the Homestuck community. I've been embraced by the Homestuck fan.
yeah.
Toby Fox will make a video game about me.
So uh, thank you so much, House, for taking this interview and
Sure.
being
Yeah.
here.
Thank you for having me, Remy. I appreciate you asking me to do this. It's fun.
So
It's fun to talk about this weird thing that I barely know about. I hope the folks at this meetup, this online convention, get something out of this.
yeah. So I guess, do you want to plug or some stuff?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll plug my stuff. You know, houseofdecline.com. It's HAUS of decline. We like to spell it weird, the German way. You can go to twitter.com. I guess it's not even called Twitter, and that you have to go to x.com now. Or I think it still redirects from Twitter. It's still Twitter. I'm mostly on Twitter still, even though it's rapidly falling apart. But I kind of like that aspect about it. So yeah, twitter.com/House of Decline, Instagram, Blue Sky. We're all there too. Listen to the podcast. It's everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music. You know, I mean, plugs are so funny because you always hate doing them because it's like, but you gotta, you know, you
Yeah,
have
you
to
know.
give it.
No, it's
But yeah, thank you for having me on.
yeah, sure.
I appreciate it.
For everyone in the audience, I hope have a rest, have a great convention. Thank you for tuning in, and see you uh, later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.